Good morning. Welcome back to Mom. I hope you all are having a good morning. Hope things are going well. I wanted to let you know this is the last video for this year's Mom. So I've had fun with these videos. Hopefully we've had some fun in our groups, but it's not the end of the year just yet because we're gonna have an in-person end of year party on April 29th. And that's going to be in the evening at 6:30 p.m. at Hillside. Hopefully you can make it. This end of year party is going to be a fun mom time. It is going to be just for moms only, so there will not be a children's program that evening. That's something we're excited to get back into the groove of when we start up again in the fall. So hopefully you can make it to the end of year party. Talk to your table hostess about any details if you need them, and hopefully we see you there. So for now, it is still April, which is apparently National Poetry Month. I did not know this until recently, so that's exciting. I am not sure how you feel about poetry because I learned in an article that I read that a national survey in the mid-2000s showed that children love poetry. Kids love it. It's exciting. Adults, however, seem to not like it. So at some point, we lose our love for poetry. This article was speculating that maybe this has to do with negative experiences in school with poetry, having to recite it or memorize or whatever we all had to do. So maybe that's why it kind of fades away at some point. But kids love it, so we should maybe talk about engaging in a fun way with our kids with poetry this month. So, you know, when I think of the littlest kids, the simplest poetry, right, is rhyming. We just rhyme. We rhyme with them. Turns out that's a benefit to them because it teaches them rhythm, teaches them the power of a language. So that's a good thing. We want to be rhyming with our kids. Singing songs is all rhyming and counts as poetry as well. Just because there's music behind it doesn't disqualify it from being poetry, right? So have fun, sing songs, rhyme words. We do a lot of rhyming. We as in me, I do a lot of rhyming in my house. I rhyme a lot of things. It just happens and it's fun. I think my kids appreciate that. I hope they do. I don't know. Poetry in general has benefits for kids, it turns out, because it not only is teaching them those language skills and for the rhyming with some early literary development, but poetry in general teaches them some self-expression, creative speaking, creative writing. They develop just those language arts skills that are useful, plus also some emotional and social skills, especially if they're the nursery rhymes and then getting into other more in-depth poetry. So, however we feel about it, I think we can still try and have some poetry fun with our kids, rhyming, reading, coming up with our own nursery rhymes and songs. I know that for both of my kids, I have come up with songs for their names, and Audrina is kind of a long name. So I think having a song for her actually helped her learn how to spell her name when the time came, because it's Audrina. Audrina loves to play all day. She's so smart. She's so fun. She's the world to everyone, and it's so fun. But because it starts Audrina, she has had that rhythm in her head for a long time. So when it came time to learn a 7-letter long name, I think it worked to her benefit. Of course, then I had my son, and I had to come up with an Adam song for him. So he's got an ADAM song. I wanted to keep the spelling in there. Hopefully it does some good. So we do that, have some fun. Dr. Seuss counts as some fun poetry. Nonsense poetry shows that we can be imaginative and creative. We can have fun with things like Go Dog Go, right? So I actually have a book called, not me, it's not like it was just mine, because it's called M is for Monkey, and it is an alphabet book. And because it has a rhyming rhythm, I've actually, because it's been years that I've owned this book now, I've actually memorized it. Not because I set out to memorize it, but because I've read it so long. Maybe you have a book like that. it just sticks. And if the rhythm sticks with me, then I know it's doing something for them too. It's not like I set out to memorize M is for monkey, but I have. A is for acrobat, B is for ball. The monkey's not careful, monkey will fall. So I even had my daughter quiz me on this. I gave her the book and I said, I think I can do this. I think I know the whole thing because I've read it to you guys so many times. So see where rhythm has benefits even in my adult brain. But hopefully all of this rhyming comes to something, all right? So let's have some poetry fun, celebrate National Poetry Month. Aside from just the poetry, the kids at Hillside are learning about peace. The elementary school kids are learning about peace this month at Hillside. And they're learning that peace means proving you care more about each other than winning an argument. Ooh, that can stick with all of us, right? So I looked up some poems because apparently there are poems about peace by children. And I saw this article that showed someone posted pictures of poems written by kids in a peace garden in Sacramento. So these were written by elementary school kids in the Sacramento area. One of them I saw was called Peace by a third grader. It says, peace begins with helping a brother. Peace begins with stopping a fight. Peace begins with being polite. Peace begins with saying, I apologize. Peace begins with making a friend. World peace begins with me. And that was from a third grader. And then a different one was called A Thought by a fifth grader that says, people that walk the earth have a heart inside. Put aside differences and join hands. When prayers and dreams are answered, only then will we all realize that world peace and harmony make us one. It's precious and sweet. So we can wrap up peace, we can wrap up poetry all together. I think poetry gives our older kids a way to express themselves in a unique way. Maybe you get a sense of what's going on in their little brains in a different way than just you would with a different type of writing prompt, right? So, or speaking prompt. Anyway, poetry, peace, these are all good things. I want to leave you with also something about peace from Colossians 3:15 that says, let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body, you are called to peace. And be thankful. So there's peace. I want to leave you with that. I hope you have some fun this week in your groups. I know you will. And I also hope you can make it to the end of year party on April 29th. I will see you then. Have a good day.